She borrowed money for love, but what she got in return was heartbreak, betrayal, and premium shit, imported and locally assembled. They say love is blind, but in Kate's case, love was also deaf, broke, and slightly foolish. This is the story of Kate, a woman who borrowed money for love and ended up borrowing sense from life. And Felix, the man whose mouth was sweeter than gala and whose lies were longer than Third Mainland Bridge. Kate never asked for much out of life. Just a little peace, a little love, and maybe, if God allowed, a little money that would stop disappearing like akura sold in traffic. She didn't grow up with silver spoons, not even the wooden ones. The only spoon Kate knew was the one used to share soup out of the family pot in Kaduna, where she was born and raised. She was the second of 5 children, the one everyone described as obedient and hardworking. She didn't talk much, but she always had a smile for people, the kind that made you think life wasn't as stressful as it really was. When her father died suddenly of a heart attack, Kate's childhood ended like power supply during rainy season, sharp and without warning. She was 16 and in SS2. Her dreams of becoming a teacher suddenly turned into dreams of simply surviving. Her mother took loans, tried to keep everything together, but the economy didn't care about widows and sympathies. So Kate dropped out of school, and by 19, she'd taken the boat trip to Lagos with only one nylon bag and her mother's blessing. She arrived in Lagos like everyone else, with hope and a convection of relatives' house-to-house movements before finally landing a job at Crown Fuel filling station in Ikeja. It paid enough to live on and send something small back home. Though life wasn't flashy, it was steady. And for someone like Kate, steady was good. Steady meant control. But steady became shaken when Felix arrived. Felix wasn't the kind of man you forgot quickly. Not because he was too handsome, though he had the kind of face mothers liked, sharp jawline, smooth chin, always well-shaven. No. It was the way he carried himself, like a man who was used to good things and didn't believe in stress. The kind of man Lagos traffic was created for, not to slow him down, but to admire him. The first time he drove up to Pump 3, Kate noticed the way he leaned out of the driver's window, one arm resting casually like he owned the road. His Corolla was old, maybe 2005 model, and coughed like it was having breathing problems, but his confidence made it look like a G-Wagon. He rolled down the window, and Kate got her first whiff, cologne, strong, expensive, threatening to slap her nose into heaven. "How much fuel, sir?" Kate asked, polite as always. He smiled, voice low and buttery. "Fill the tank. And keep the change." She blinked. The man had given her 10,000 Nigerian nairas for fuel worth 8,000 Nigerian nairas. A whole 2,000 Nigerian nairas extra. "Oh, Oga, this is too much." "Nothing is too much for someone who works as hard as you," he said. "Petrol attendant, under the sun. You're a hero." She laughed awkwardly. He winked. She almost dropped the nozzle. When he drove off, she stood there for a moment, trying to understand what just happened. She didn't know then, but that was the beginning of the story, not the middle, not the climax, just the intro. But in life, sometimes the intro carries the most danger. Felix started coming more frequently after that. Twice a week turned into 5 times. He always came late afternoon, when the sun was mellow but still had vibes. Kate could almost set her clock to the sound of his dying Corolla pulling into the station. She tried to resist the flutter in her chest. Kate wasn't someone who had romance expressed towards her often, or at all. Her life had been all about survival, not flirting or butterflies. Men, to her, were background noise, distant, unnecessary, often troublesome. But Felix was different. Or at least, that's how he presented himself. He didn't rush things. He asked about her day. He brought her small gifts, cooling wipes, meat pie from Mr. Biggs, sometimes even an energy drink. Kate always tried to refuse, but he'd insist. "It's nothing," he'd say. What's your favorite thing in this world? Peace of mind, she once said. He smiled. Let me be number 2 then. It wasn't just Felix's words, it was the fact that he showed up consistently. That kind of consistency is powerful. It can make lies look like promises. After 3 months of consistent visits, walks after closing time, and sweet banter that made her colleagues jealous, Felix asked her out officially. Not in a fancy way, not a proposal with balloons and flowers, but in the quiet way that fits people who have walked into each other's routines. Kate, he said one evening, his usual parking spot empty behind her. I like you and I'm not even joking. I want us to be more than customer and petrol attendant. I want us to be us. Kate's heart went full drum and bass. She didn't know what to say. She was scared, not of him, but of the fact that she felt safe with him. And safety was something life had never offered her without interest. So she nodded. And that was it. They became a couple. She didn't tell many people. Her roommates at the Face Me I Face You house in Ajij knew, mostly because she came home late sometimes with a goofy smile and a bag of shawarma. Her mother in the village didn't know, she didn't want to get her hopes up. And at work, she was careful, because in Lagos, happiness is a fragile thing, too loud and someone will sneeze bad luck into it. Felix played the boyfriend role like he had a script, good morning text, checkups, lunch breaks filled with peppered gizzard wrapped in newspaper. He talked about the future like it was a movie he was already watching. Kate baby, we will move you to a better apartment soon. I don't want you to stay in this compound forever. Kate baby, by next year, you will stop working. I want you to open a small business. Be your own boss. Kate baby, if we get married, our kids will be the luckiest children in Nigeria. Every sentence started with Kate baby. Every dream started with we. And every lie started with confidence. Then it started small. Felix started to request for money from Kate. He started small, 50K first, 100K next to the bigger ask that broke Kate's back. Kate, who was foolishly in love, couldn't see through his antics. She thought she was building him. It happened on a Thursday. The clouds were low, like they were tired of Lagos too. Kate was closing up at the station when she saw Felix leaning on his car, face drawn. Felix. What happened? He sighed. A heavy sigh. One hand on his head. Baby, I didn't want to involve you in my business things, but I don't have a choice again. Something serious has happened. What is it? Are you okay? My supply deal for some appliances fell through. I borrowed money from someone to lock the deal, 5 million naira. Now the client froze payment. I have only 2 weeks to pay back or, he rubbed his jaw. I'll be in so much trouble. Kate swallowed. 5 million Nigerian naira wasn't just money. It was her savings from the past 5 years. It was her investment in a dream she hadn't told anyone about. It was the business she one day hoped to start. It was safety, security, everything she'd fought for. But Felix's eyes. I thought we were partners, he softly said. If we can't build together now, how do we want to build tomorrow? That line had a structure. It was a trap disguised as teamwork. And just like that, love became a loan. Kate didn't hand him her savings. She didn't have the full amount. Instead, she worked herself into a financial corner. She borrowed from her cooperative. She signed the form. She left her dignity as collateral. 2 days later, she transferred 5 million naira to Felix. He kissed her forehead. Babe, you will thank me later. I swear. She thought she'd feel safe after helping him. But the minute she watched him drive off, a cold wind entered her chest. Something felt off. But love is a terrible accountant, it calculates feelings, not logic. 2 weeks passed like water through a basket. Kate called him several times. She sent messages. Delivered. She waited. Unread. She took a day off work and went to his apartment in Ogba. The caretaker said, "Oh, madam. Mr. Felix has moved out since. He didn't even tell me." "Move? To where?" Caretaker shrugged. "Ask him. I am just a caretaker, I'm not the police." Kate's stomach sank. She tried his barber, the one she'd seen Felix laughing with once after a fade cut. The barber said, "Oh, that guy. He said he was traveling. Maybe gonna." She tried his sister, the number he gave her for emergencies. Number not reachable. One day turned into 3. Then a week. Then 4. Reality hit Kate so hard, she almost lost her footing while filling a customer's tank. Felix was gone. Kate had been scammed. Not just the money, her trust, her hope, her plans. She had been robbed with charm instead of force. Everything lost color for Kate. The filling station that once felt like a second home now looked like a graveyard of her foolishness. She stopped sleeping. Stopped smiling. Even customers noticed. "Are you okay?" one man asked kindly. She nodded. "Just tired." But her eyes were swollen. Her hands shook. She had headaches. Her chest felt like someone had rolled a trailer over it. Twice. Then came the worst part, the cooperative calling. "Kate, I beg, this is a reminder call. Your loan repayment starts next week." Her salary couldn't cover it. She'd have to cut feeding, rent, everything. That was when she felt it. Heartbreak wasn't just emotional. It was economic. Some nights, she'd stare at her reflection in her tiny mirror and whisper, "You tried. You just trusted wrong." That made it worse. Because trying wasn't the problem. It was believing. 3 weeks after hope gave up on her, Kate was lying on a bed, scrolling through Instagram. Her fingers moved like tired soldiers. No goal, just numb scrolling. Then she froze. Felix. Not just a random picture. A fresh one. Felix, in a navy blue senator, smiling beside a heavily pregnant woman, in what looked like a cozy living room. Caption. Family over everything. Kate felt something inside her break with an audible crack. She threw her phone aside, jumped to her feet, and started pacing like her body was on fire. Her Felix. The man who said a kid baby. The man she prayed for. With a family. With a wife. With a child on the way. She stared harder at the Instagram post, still trying to process the betrayal flooding her veins, when something caught her eye, a comment buried beneath the sea of awe and a congratulations emojis. "Felix, God will punish you for me." Kate blinked. Her heart paused for a beat. She zoomed in, stared at the username at Bola_door. Another woman, cursing Felix publicly. Curiosity, mixed with grief, pulled Kate deeper. She tapped the profile. A page loaded, pictures of a stunning woman smiling in well-lit selfies, captions in polished English. One post had her in a business suit, another at a birthday dinner surrounded by friends, yet another in Dubai with the hashtag #SoftLifeOnly. Bola. A beautiful, successful-looking woman, the kind that made you wonder how love could treat her badly too. Kate scrolled through her feed meticulously, like she was searching for a code. She clicked, zoomed, scrolled some more. Who was she? What happened to her? Before she could overthink it, she sent a message. "Hi. I saw your comment on Felix's page. Please, what did he do to you?" She didn't expect a fast response, not from someone like Bola, who probably had traffic in her DMs. But the reply came almost instantly. "Felix is a worldwide heartbreak dealer. That guy is a certified emotional scammer. He duped my friend of 25 million naira. He will start love, borrow money, disappear. No conscience, no soul. Professional heartbreak merchant." Kate's breath froze. It wasn't just her. Felix wasn't just a liar. He was a career criminal, in suits, cologne, and emotional manipulation. As the truth settled in like cold harmattan air, she realized, love hadn't only made her blind, it made her an almost willing victim. But now, she wasn't alone. And this wasn't just personal. It was war, spiritual, emotional, and financial. She clutched her chest. Screamed. Cried the kind of tears that comes from the spine, not just the eyes. She wanted to tear the sky open. Break Instagram. Break his face. But all she had was a phone with a cracked screen and a loan hanging over her head. For weeks after that moment, Kate was a shadow moving through life. Customers noticed she didn't respond with the usual warmth. Her colleagues stopped teasing her and started watching her carefully, exchanging looks when she sat alone, silent. Kate didn't wake up one day and suddenly stop hurting. Healing takes time, like slow-cooked stew. One day she woke up and decided, enough tears, now, walk. She cut down on everything. She skipped new clothes. She stopped eating out. She sent a message to her mother, carefully worded to avoid panic, and reduced the amount she sent home. She took shifts for colleagues, doubled her effort, and slowly, repayment started. She paid 200,000 naira the first month. 300,000 naira the next. She started a side hustle, small perfume business she did from a tray, selling good but affordable scents to office workers and students. At one point, she slept barely 5 hours a day. But she didn't stop. Every time she was tempted to give up, she remembered Felix's smile, that calculated grin as he took her money and said, "You will thank me later." Oh, she was thanking him. By channeling all heart into hustle. 3 years passed. She opened her own small perfume shop. Saved up. Bought a small patch of land in Mao. And slowly, Kate began to glow again, not from love, not from lotion, but from resilience. One rainy night, Kate got a call. "Hello, is this Kate? We were asked by the patient to put a call through to you. He had an accident. He's at General Hospital, Ikeja. Critical condition." Her heart skipped. Who? His name is Felix. She froze. It felt like life had placed her on a road she once traveled, only now in reverse. She hesitated. Then something in her, maybe closure, maybe curiosity, made her go. When she got there, she saw 4 women whom he had scammed and broken their hearts lined up in the room. Some decided not to come, but some did, to relish the sight of him on a hospital bed. When she saw him lying there, weak, pale, not the man with fresh beard and cologne, but an abandoned shell, she didn't feel joy. She didn't feel pity. She just felt nothing. He saw her and winced. "Kate. I'm sorry." She crossed her arms. "Sorry for what?" "For everything. My wife left me. Said none of the kids were mine. DNA confirmed. Even the one she was carrying. I lost my business. Lost my house. Lost peace. Kate. I thought I was winning, but it was all lies. You were the one I loved the most." All 4 women laughed, hissed, and walked out of the room. She stared at him. Then said, "That's not bad luck, Felix. That's balance." Then she turned and walked away, rain beating her shoulders, but she didn't feel wet. She felt free. Then she realized that sometimes life doesn't give you movies. It gives you moments. Tiny, perfect moments where you learn, heartbreak doesn't end you. It reroutes you. Love with sense. Trust with wisdom. Don't loan feelings to people who overdraft hearts for a living. And in this Lagos, heartbreak doesn't come alone. It brings death and lessons.